they enjoy living the life that they have, or they feel disempowered, or either way they're going along to get along, and they're not going to do anything to question that or do anything to challenge that. Then there's the anger phase, when you realize, hey, I've been lied to my entire life, and our money is fake. The elections are rigged. The wars are concocted by false flags to make tons of money and seize oil and all sorts of other stuff. Basically, I've been lied to. I'm mad. And the anger phase is, where a lot of people go, let's go get them. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. And they, chase around a lot of collectivist messiahs who are promising to, solve all their problems for them. And that's where the bargaining phase comes in, where they, is it this group that I join? Is it this group that I join? Do I do this? Do I do that? And then they get to a point where they realize that all these problems are way too big. They've been let down by a lot of people who promised them the world, and then they sink into depression. And that's where I think a lot of the people who kind of get into the awakening movement get stuck. They call it the fear loop, where they're constantly looking for or fearing emotional things outside of their control and hoping for a collectivist messiah to come save them from themselves. And it's not until you get to the fifth stage, the acceptance stage, where you start to realize, yeah, the world is screwed up, but my life doesn't have to be. What can I do to take personal responsibility for my life and focus my time and effort on things that I can control instead of fearing things I can't control? So I narrowed it down to 3 things, and it's, focus your time on real friends, real skills, and real wealth. Because in the end, those are really the only things you can control. You're never going to change Washington, D.C. You're not going to roll back our military-industrial complex. I mean, they get $1 trillion a year. What is a little blogger on YouTube going to do about that? You're never going to change the system, especially because so many people are dependent upon the system. You mentioned 1 in 5 don't work. Well, probably another 1 in 5 actually work for the government. And then all the industries that are built up around it, 70% of the economy is built off of consumerism. Well, what is that? Consumerism is this unique feature that we have, being the world's reserve currency, that we can create unlimited amount of debt and consume more than we produce. So when this all ends, and you got 1/5 of the population that doesn't work, 1/5 of the population that works for the government, and then 70% of the economy that's based off of consumerism, does anybody really produce any value in the United States? It's not going to end well. So when people become aware of this stuff, they need to start focusing on, okay, what can I do? Can I get into better shape? Can I, live outside of a city that would have a riot because these people are unprepared? Can I surround myself with better people? Do I have a psychopath boss? Do I have an industry that won't exist once the credit cards stop? How can I produce some real tangible value for humanity? What do I love doing? So often, so many people follow careers because that's where they make their money, but hate it. How many other people would be doing other jobs if their paychecks weren't an issue? How many people would be doing other jobs if you actually produced real tangible wealth? I find that most of the people who are producing real tangible wealth don't monetarily benefit off this system. You kind of look at the farmers and the plumbers and contractors, and people are actually building and doing stuff to improve people's lives on a daily basis. They don't make a ton of money. But I tell you what, those that serve the debt and death paradigm, the congressmen, the lawyers, the military contractors, the Wall Street executives, the NSA snooping Google, techies, they're all making a ton of money because it serves the debt and death paradigm really well. So I try to get people to focus on things that they can control. And if you fear a banking crisis, shit, why do you have money in the bank? Why do you have 401ks and, CDs and stocks? You should be having real tangible wealth. Realize that all that electronic, digital, paper, fiat, debt-based currency is merely a future promise on wealth, one in which these central banks and governments can print more money instantly overnight to devalue that, or rob it, take your money or not give it to you. In Argentina, when they went through their hyperinflation, they said, yeah, the currency is going to crap, but you can only take $100 a day out of your ATM, and that's if the ATM still worked. So get your money out of the system. Stop worrying about things outside of your control. Take action now while the doors are still open, because I fear once, like we talked about with the nuke, once it's in the air, man, all bets are off. And you won't have time to move things around, find good friends, learn new skills, and certainly get into real tangible wealth.